Hello and thank you for joining us for State of Texas. I'm Phil Prayson. Behind closed doors, select negotiators between the House and the Senate continue to work out the details on the state budget, school finance, and property tax reform. But one of the key people at the Capitol looks ahead. This week I sat down with Speaker of the House Dennis Bonnen. He shared his insights on the sticking points still in negotiation and what comes next.
One of the big sticking points for school finance, at least from the outside, looking into the conference committee, is whether to mandate a $5,000 teacher pay raise for all the teachers, or to give it more to the districts and let them kind of decide on special programs or teacher pay raises.
Right.
How do you think that's going to end?
Well, I think if you look at what the House passed, what we did is we told those districts that you have to use these dollars to pay your teachers better, but we're not telling them that it has to be a uniform payment across the board. In the House, we believe that we can change the profession of education by allowing districts to dynamically pay their teachers. If you have an area that's a harder place to recruit a teacher into, have the opportunity to pay someone more to go over there. Let's say there's a subject area you're struggling to find teachers in that area. Pay them more. We need to quit treating teachers all identically. I don't know a profession where if you put in the time and the effort and you do a better job than everyone else, you wouldn't be paid more.
On property taxes, for somebody who doesn't know, the reform would require an election if a taxing entity goes 3.5%, takes in more than 3.5% of revenue. What do you think Texans will notice? Will they notice a change come next year?
I think the greatest notice Texans are going to see is the transparency in the information they've never been given. We're going to show Texans for the first time exactly who, where, and when a vote will be taken to ask for more money from you as a taxpayer. And I think the transparency is what Texans are going to see above all, but they're going to have a safety net of sorts that at 3.5% for a city and county, we will create an automatic election so that if they haven't had success on shutting them down through the transparency we're going to provide them, they'll get to go to the voting box and decide whether they think their community needs those dollars.
As you know, a lot of cities have come out against this.
Sure they have. They always have.
When they bring their arguments of that we're going to have to cut into public safety, what do you tell them?
I tell them to quit using your police force as a political tool. That's what we tell them. The reality of it is they don't have to cut public safety. We're talking about allowing their budgets to increase up to 3.5%. So why would you need to cut an existing police officer when you can get 3.5% more than you already have? It's a bogus argument. But no one ever wants to cut a police officer. No one ever wants to cut a firefighter, and neither does anyone in the Texas legislature. But guess what else? If you legitimately need more money above 3.5% because of your police or your fire or what have you, your voters will agree with you.
You live in a more competitive state after the 2018 election. Do you think that what you're going to be doing here with these two big things will be enough ammo, if you will, for the Republicans to say, we delivered?
I see it differently.
Okay.
It's our job to deliver to make Texans' lives better. And if that produces a positive result in the election, I sure hope it does, but that's not what we're doing. We're here because we have got to fix our broken school finance system. We've got to reduce property taxes. We've got to reform property taxes. We've got to leave more money in our wealthy school districts. We've got to reduce recapture and Robin Hood, which we're doing significantly in our school finance bill. And we've got to put more money into classrooms. And that's our job. Now, if voters want to reward us for doing a really good job, doing things that haven't been done in decades, that'd be great.
A speech that you gave that got a lot of talk at the Young Conservatives at UT, which I'm paraphrasing here, but you pretty much said women aren't telling their friends to go vote Republican. For that population of Texans, do you think this has been a successful session?
I think it's been incredibly successful. And really the point I was making that day is that as Republicans, we have not spoken to women voters respectfully. We have not spoken to the issues they care about. And when we have been doing good work on the issues they care about, we don't talk about them in the right way. Let me tell you something. It's an important issue to women and men. That's their kid's school. I want my child's school to be the best it can be, and I want to see the Texas legislature supporting my children's school. I want to see them doing things to improve the predicament for my student, my teacher, who's helping my student learn, and that's what we're doing this session.
What's an example that you did not want to do when you talk about you've been talking to them the wrong way?
Well, quite candidly, it's a language you use. It more than anything is really an example. Now, the good news is I don't think I've been using that language. I think others have, and I think we've done a better job of improving upon that. But examples of what we have done, something that's been going on for years, it's embarrassing to the state of Texas, is having an over 2-year backlog of rape kit testing in Texas. I'm very proud of the legislation we've passed this session to eliminate that rape kit backlog, but even almost more importantly, is requiring that you within 90 days test any new rape kits. So there never will be an embarrassing 2-year backlog on rape kits in Texas.
Republicans and Democrats have worked really well together, or at least from the outside looking in the House. As we leave the legislature and go into campaign season, that Republican-Democrat relationship will probably be strained a little bit in some areas. What do you hope happens going forward with that relationship?
I hope we stick to the tradition of the Texas House, and that is that no sitting member of the House campaigns against another sitting member of the House. What makes the House unique and successful in the country, not simply here, but across the country, is that we are bipartisan. And the central component of our bipartisanship is that you don't see sitting members of the House campaigning against another sitting member of the House.
So that will include yourself? You
Absolutely.
Won't campaign against a sitting Democrat?
I will not.